Hey guys, it's JC. Welcome back to our channel, All Things Home. In this video, I'm going to show you 2 different Christmas DIYs that you can prepare for next year. That way, when next year comes, you don't have to worry about doing any DIYs ahead of time. You can have them ready to go. Just store them away with your Christmas decor whenever you take it down, if you haven't already. If you enjoy watching this video, please go ahead and like it below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next one. Without further ado, let's get these DIYs started. I'm going to show you how to repurpose old ornaments and just give them a new, fresh look. I had been seeing a bunch of ornaments on Pinterest that gave more of a natural feel, more of like a stone or ceramic look to them, and I wanted to bring those elements into my home and onto my tree for Christmas. And then I'm also going to be showing you guys how to create those Christmas bells just from cups. So super budget friendly, and I have been seeing these everywhere, and I missed my chance to buy them at Home Goods one day because when I went back they weren't there. So I was determined to figure out how to DIY these. My sister-in-law did find me some very similar at Walmart for like $20, so it was a really good deal there, but I still was determined to show you guys how you can create these in a budget-friendly way for your home too. So first we're going to do some DIY ornaments. I got these a few years ago at Hobby Lobby. They're plastic and just have some different textures to them, but I just want to give them more of like a ceramic look. So I'm going to go in with these different paint colors. I have a gray, a white, a brown, and then also a black. I was looking to see if the price was still on any of the small bottles. I want to say they're normally $1 to $2, and then this big bottle of black was about $5. I also have some cocoa powder and some baking soda that we will use near the end. The first step is to pick a paint color and paint your ornament. I am just using a craft paintbrush that I already had and just making sure to get as much coverage as I can. If you want your paint a little bit thicker, if you're not getting the coverage that you want, you can always add baking soda into your paint and just mix it up and make sure you can't see the white of the baking soda. That will give it a nice thicker texture. So after it dries, you can still see a little bit of the sparkle, which I think is okay. You're going to grab a plastic bag and dip it in a different color of paint and kind of sporadically dab it on the ornament. A big thing in picking the paint color is to make sure you're picking one that is close to the original color. You don't want to do a complete opposite, like a black and a white, because the contrast is just going to be too much, and that kind of like ceramic terracotta look isn't going to be achieved. So once you have the second paint dabbed on, you're going to go ahead and put it in the powder that's closest to the color. So since we used brown, we'll dip it in the cocoa powder. And I just kind of use my foam brush to kind of dab it on a little bit more, and then started to brush it off. And it's okay that it's kind of getting on the black too. This will help create that blended effect. Remember that it's okay to not be perfect on these. You will actually create more of a natural look when you just kind of go for it and don't think about it too much. I wanted to show some of the other color combos I did. So this is going to be the white base with gray, and I think the white and gray color combos ended up being my favorite just because the white and gray are so close in color that they blended really well together and just gave a natural look in the end. I did accidentally get a black smudge on there, so I just went back with the gray paint and dabbed it on a little bit more and just let that dry a little bit further so that it could fully cover that up. So this one's going to be a gray base with the white dabbed on it. Obviously, the ornament is like a silver matte already, but I just didn't want it to have any shine, so I went ahead and painted the gray over it. This time I went ahead and just picked up the foam brush and kind of scooped the baking soda onto the ornament just to try and get the wet paint fully covered with the baking soda. Then I think the key is just to really thoroughly brush through the baking soda and just get it all over the ornament so that it again blends over the entire thing. Okay, I'm going to show you two more color combos. This one is going to be brown with the black. I am showing you guys these. They aren't my favorite, but I just want you to see the difference in the contrast between the two colors and how much of a difference that it makes. Because when they don't blend as well, then to me they don't look as great. I can say that overall, once these are with all the other ornaments, they still look really cool. But again, I just don't think that the two colors blended as good as the other ones. So lastly, I'm showing the brown with the white, just to see if this gave a different effect than the black. These two are still pretty different, however, because the white was so light, whenever I took the foam brush and started mixing it around, the brown ended up mixing with the white and turning it into kind of like a light tan. So the two colors were less of a contrast in the end. And I don't want to forget the metal pieces on top. You can either leave them as they are, you can paint them one of your paint colors, or you can definitely take them off and put them in a box and just spray paint them like a gold or a different color as well. So moving on to the Christmas bells, I'm so excited for these, and even though my sister-in-law was able to find me some very similar, those are hanging on our wreath outside, and so being able to have these inside the home and bringing that rustic and antique element inside as well just adds to the story of the Christmas decor. So let's go ahead and get started with these. For the bells, I remembered I had these cups from our wedding that we were supposed to hand out to everyone, and by the end of the night I realized that we forgot to set them out. So we have more than we need, and so I thought these were the perfect shape to create the bells. To start, I'm just going in with a metallic spray paint. This isn't totally necessary, but since my cups were clear, I just wanted to go in with a base coat just in case anything were to show through. After it dried, I'm now going in with a matte black spray paint, which will help give an aging look in the end. My sprayer was not wanting to work, but you can see that it's kind of giving just a splattering effect, which I was nervous about at first. However, I thought it ended up giving it more of a metal metallic look anyway, so I just didn't worry about it being too perfect. The next step is the rub and buff, and this was my first time using it. It comes in this small tube for about $13, but it does last very well. I ended up getting one that included these foam brushes, which I preferred using a paintbrush over the foam brushes, and I'll show you why and the differences between the two at the end. I did use the foam brush on the first bell I did, and I'm just skipping over that one because I think the strokes using the paintbrush just ended up turning out better. But like I said, I'll show you how both of them turned out in the end. So to start, I'm just dipping my paintbrush in the rub and buff and just brushing it onto the cup. The rub and buff is pretty thick, so a little goes a long way. I'm just using a craft paintbrush that I already had, not the best quality since it broke in the middle, but nothing a little hot glue can't fix. You want to make sure your strokes are going in different directions. This will help give it more of a realistic look. And you can even layer the rub and buff a little bit like I did there, just to give it a little bit more texture too. at the cup, I tried to make sure not to paint in the creases. So like you see that top line, I wanted to make sure to give it that natural aging look. But if you do get paint in those areas, you can always go back with just a black paint and kind of make those areas a little bit more prominent. Now I'm just going to make a knot for the top of the bell, and I was originally going to use the cardboard from a toilet paper roll and spray it gold to give it a hook. However, the cardboard was just a little bit too flimsy for what I was hoping for, so I just thought I could make a bigger knot for the top and just hot glue it together, and that way the string could just pull from there. So this is the end result, and I'm really happy with how it turned out, just especially with the painted brush strokes. This is the difference between the two. On the left is the foam brush and the right is the regular paintbrush. So you can see that the strokes are just a little bit more realistic looking. The foam brush almost gave it a watercolor effect. So not that you can't use that, but I just wanted to show the difference between the two. That wraps up the Christmas DIYs. I hope that you're able to have some fun with these and just have a little something new right when you are ready to decorate for the Christmas season next year. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed watching, please go ahead and like it below and subscribe to our channel for more videos on home decor and design tips and DIY projects. Thanks, guys. See ya.